There you go. Yes, okay. Welcome to the regular meeting of the Sewer Authority Midcoastside for August 11th, 2025. Can I have a roll call, please?
Director McInnes. Here. Director On.
Here.
Director Boyd. Here. Director Dye.
Here.
Director Svedakana. Chair Rod.
Here. Thank you. We're moving on to item 2, public comment. This is an item where the public can address the board on issues that are not on the regular agenda, but also issues that are on the consent agenda they may discuss. I don't see anybody in the room. Is there anybody online who would like to address the board under public comment? Seeing none, I will bring it back to the consent agenda. Item 3 is item 3A, approved minutes of July 28th, 2025, regular board meeting. And item 3B, approved disbursements for August 11th, 2025. Anybody have any issue with either of those items? I move approval. Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Okay, so, excuse me. We are moving on to regular business. Item 4A, which is set salary and terms and conditions of employment for unrepresented employees and approved unrepresented employee salary schedule retroactive to July 1, 2025.
Yeah, so this is primarily the salary and terms and conditions of employment for unrepresented employees. And at present we have only one unrepresented employee, which is the selections officer. Although the GM is also unrepresented employee, he's on a contract, so that's a different thing altogether. So it is required to bring this to the board and it's approved officially by the board as per CalPERS requirement. So this is the same terms which was approved by the board for the local 39 MOU. We said that the employees will have a 5% increase in pay in 2025-2026. So this is just getting regularized for the unrepresented employees. So anticipated approximate increase about 47.50 per year. And we have attached the bi-weekly rate schedule for the finance officer. Although we've also incorporated an engineering and construction contracts manager. This has not been funded in the budget, so we're just putting it as a placeholder. This would be the bi-weekly rate savings. Any questions? Staff is your to answer.
Nancy?
Just a question. It's the, I understand, I think from the memo, I just wanted to confirm, it's just the longstanding practice of the board to have the unrepresented employees follow the same sort of protocol and standards as the represented employees. Okay. So this is not something.
It's not unusual. Other organizations do that.
Okay.
I have.
Well, it's not a new thing.
So, I'm trying to understand, new guy, a couple of questions. So the engineering and construction contracts manager, when was that last filled?
That was defunded in June 2019. The
What?
engineering and construction contracts manager was turning to an interim general manager at that point of time. Therefore, that was waiting to that time.
That was for you, right?
That was
So there's no backfill for your old position.
Do we still need it? I mean, to me, I like to get rid of positions if we're not ever going to use them, but you think maybe it's just good to have, at least you have the position there, should need
Yeah,
it.
it's good to have the position because at present, since the present general manager also as a head of an engineering manager, it works well. So we don't need an exclusive engineering contracts manager, construction
Right.
contracts.
So you fill that role.
I fill that position.
Right.
But in the event that sometime later, if the
But you're a registered engineer.
unregistered PE.
So sometimes we have general managers that aren't. Right. Or don't. So that's why
And we would need to fill that position.
and then you might need the
Yeah,
technical
that's why
expertise. Oh, yeah. Okay. That makes sense. And then I noticed, so the finance officer, who is that?
That's George.
George.
George, right? Which he's online. Does he ever come to the office or?
Yeah.
Okay.
He started coming to work and to the office in person. And he was here last week. Nice.
We met, yeah.
Nancy and Kathy.
Yeah.
He was here last week.
And then,
He's coming in like 3 days a week now.
Yeah, he depends on the requirements.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then do we, you use consultants too?
Yes, for accounts, finance and accounting.
Yeah. So how do we use the consultants? What do they do that George doesn't do? Maybe that's
So
the
they
better question.
work on exclusive things like budgeting, auditing, and we have the support functions. We give them all the information and they help us with that.
Kelly Pacheco is also in the accounting department.
Yeah.
Is that the accounting technician?
That's the
I
account.
saw,
He's moving to part-time.
okay, right. I remember her saying something.
You're part of the finance company.
Yeah, I remember hearing that. Yeah. Okay, good. And then I noticed, so we created step H for these two positions. Does that mean IJ and K will come the following years?
No. I don't think so.
Seems like it.
It's on the same lines as the local 39 for representative. We created a step 8. So that's the same thing. That's why we created another step here for the unrepresented also.
Oh.
It's the same as step 8. Just because the unrepresented was called an ABC.
On my side, I lost audio. Did anybody else?
I also lost audio.
Accounting technician, she's moving to part-time from 18 onwards. So we have support from Peter Medina. He's also there. He comes into finance committee meetings also. So he's the one who gives us support for budget and auditing and any other specialized functions of finance and accounting.
Mhm. Okay. You know, I really like having an in-house, especially finance. It's always great to have a,
Yeah, we'll slowly move towards that. But
Yeah.
That's what we're targeting.
yeah, perfect.
Like, I mean,
Has been incredibly important.
Yeah.
Remember when we were behind some years ago, 6 years ago, I guess, 3 audits. And he brought us up to date in about 2 years. It was amazing how fast you got those 3 audits. It might have been 3 over 3 plus, but it was, he managed to get us. And the finance awards are
Yeah.
from the
Cool.
education
Thank you, George.
and you.
I am also a George fan.
Yeah.
George, when I was learning stuff, getting started in learning finances, George was great. And he did pull us out of, he was the one who took us out of the hole that we'd been left in.
Okay.
So
Good.
He said he's Canadian. Hey,
Okay. All right. No, that's it. Thank you.
well,
We need those Canadians, you know.
Is there anybody online who would like to address this item related to setting terms and conditions for unrepresented employee? I see no hands raised, so we'll bring this back to the board.
Move that we approve. It's an agenda off my phone, but
Item A.
item A, yes.
Second,
Okay, I think we'll do a roll call here, please.
Director Megan,
Yes.
Director Marsh.
Yes.
Director Boyd.
Yes.
Director Dye.
yes.
Director Slater Carter.
Yes.
Chair Rhoda.
Yes.
And George, can you wave at us?
Don't get too cold out there, George.
Four B, which is set the bi-weekly employee salary schedule effective July 1, 2025.
Yes, so this is for the represented employees, double 39. We had gone to a MOU last year and got it approved, so we're just regularizing it. Like I told earlier, this is basically the cost of living increase of 5% as agreed upon. We've actually done it for the entire 5 years on the MOU. You have the different slabs every year. So this was regularizing because we need to do that for CalPERS point of view. Get it approved formally by the board. So you'll have the wage schedule here where we have step 8 also added. That was a recent addition. All this was effective from July 1 of this year.
And did the increases actually go in July 1 on time?
Everything.
Okay, so this is just
Yeah.
Formalizing.
Yes. This is just
Ratification?
ratification inside.
Are most of the employees on the older CalPERS or the new, or do you have a mixture of both?
We have some in the older one classic
Yeah,
and we have some under Pepper.
okay.
I think it's mostly under Pepper at this point, right?
Most of them are Pepper.
Yeah, I think organizations are starting to see more and more of that turnover.
Yeah, some classic employees have retired, so new guys, new persons have been
Yeah,
enrolled in those are Pepper.
okay. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, any additional questions for staff on the site?
Move approval of,
Let's see if there's any public.
oh, sorry.
Is there anybody online who would like to address item 4B relating to the bi-weekly employee salary schedule? Seeing none, Director Dye has made a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Director Megan,
Yes.
Director Marsh.
Yes.
Director Boyd.
Yes.
Director Dye.
Yes.
Director Slater Carter.
Yes.
Chair Rhoda.
Yes.
Okay.
Moving on to item 4C, which is authorize the general manager to enter into contract with GSE Construction for installation of grip pumps in the amount not to exceed $119,500.
Yes, so these grid pumps are required for the plant out here. It was actually approved by the board in the 22-23 budget to procure the grid pumps. So we procured it in the financial year 22-23, or we placed the PO. It took a long time for us to get the equipment because of the several delays of material supply. And then we got the grid pumps and we went out to install these pumps. We went out for a bid and we had difficulty getting contractors. You've seen that in the body of the staff report where I mentioned that we had to go more than 2 times and finally a report of 3 contractors who were willing to participate in the bid. A lot of them were busy with other projects. They didn't want to take up this small project. They call it small because they're needing millions. But we finally got a response from 3 contractors, which is basically GSE Construction, RF McDonald and Company, and Sonicson and Storer Construction. So GSE Construction was apparently the lowest responsive bidder. And I'd like to make one other mention on this, saying that the fiscal impact for this is actually $119,500. And when we budgeted it in 22-23, we had budgeted about $185,000 totally for the equipment and for the install. And that is not sufficing right now. We are short by about $57,000. We have 62,500 around that much remaining. I don't have the exact numbers, although I mentioned an approximate number in the report. But about $57,000 Director March had reached out to me this morning and we did all the calculations.
I think you have
We're falling short of
63,000.
56,000. They're falling short of 56,484. And our plan is to the balance of the funds from some of the other CIP projects which have some funds remaining. Like, for example, the hatch at the Portola pump station, we have some amount of money remaining there. And then we have cyber security measures, we have a good amount of money there. So we will be able to manage this shortfall, which we are incurring on this particular project. So 2 pumps are being installed here. And the prices are high. I mean, it might sound simple to you guys that it is a pump, just installing the pump, why is it so expensive? These are expensive because these are grid pumps. And for the grid pumps, you need special material from pipes because the grids will go and strike against the pipe and damage the pipe. So you have glass line pipes, all that thing. So all that is costing us more. So.
Sorry.
Yeah, staff is here to answer any questions. Yes, please.
For Doc?
Well, first, I'm glad that we're looking at shortfalls and where to get the funding. I think that's a really good way to look at the budget, so forth. I was also curious, it looks as if the first people who are willing to bid are the ones who go low bid. And not that it means that you change what you do, but it does seem discouraging for the other two when you finally got them to bid and then say didn't get the project. So I just, how do you see dealing with that?
Yeah, when the first person bid for the job, we also reached out to the first person again when we did a rebid several times to make sure that they're affording the price. And we dealt with this construction company which we are recommending for award. They've done a great job at land. They've done a great job at Portola pump station. So I think the prices are pretty.
I just hope that if you need second and third bids in the future, it's exactly what you should be doing. I'm not in any way saying you're not, but I think it's too bad when it's so hard to get bids. And then these two finally came in and sort of got talked into it, and then their bids were too high. So I can see this is a problem ahead for other projects. It's just a comment.
Yeah, so when the first construction company bid for it, we didn't get any response from anybody else. We didn't want to bring the sole source to the board. We said, let's make an attempt. Let's make more attempts. That's what we did. We did twice. And finally we said, okay, let's bring it to the board now.
Yeah. No, I'm not disagreeing with what you're proposing. I think it's right. But
I think it's nice to finally get it done.
yeah.
Dr. Nagengas?
And it's only 5,000 difference. So I mean, that's pretty close.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
So I'm gonna, some general things I want to ask. I noticed each contractor submitted what they're going to do. How do we ask for bids? You just give them a set of plans and they go, or do you have construction documents?
No, we give them specific plans and specifications saying what needs to be done and plans.
So, I'm used to line items and then you sum them up and have a spec book this thick. So I've noticed each contractor says, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're not going to do. Do you verify that each bid was the same? I mean, they did the same things?
Yeah, we do verify it. For example, the apparent lowest bidder GSC construction is, as you said, 6,000 or 5,000 less. While the second one was Sorensen, Sonicson and Stordal Construction. What they had done was they have included $6,000 extra for demo and hauling away the old pumps and motors.
Well, that's nice.
So this was not indicated clearly in the GSC construction, but we got the contractor to give it in writing saying that he has included this price too.
Oh, so it isn't, because that to me is different. Like I said, I'm used to producing a document that they all have to bid on and they give us line item costs. And, what each contractor submitted here is already in the spec book. I mean, I just seems confusing. I mean, if you figured it out, to me, it would be hard to make sure everybody's bidding or doing the same thing, because somebody may have added, where I'm going with this, if somebody added more money, they may be doing something the others didn't say they were going to do, and then it comes back at a change order, which now leads me into the next thing. If we're going to say it's 119.5, do you have extra, you're going to put some extra in there for change orders, like 10%, 15? I don't know if you adjust for change orders.
Yeah, we do, but at this moment, I don't foresee any change orders. We do the itemized bidding for large projects, like for example, we're doing it for, say, force main,
Oh, okay.
electrical thing. For large projects where we have clear indication of what all items they have to respond to. Whereas in this case, it's just taking out a pump and installing a pump. The materials and all, we would like them to include it. So it'll all be lump sum amount. We don't want to break it up. Material of pipe, so and so feet long, so much. So this is a job of just removing the pump and installing it.
Okay.
So that's why it's all in one item. Otherwise, typically, the number of events which happen during the entire activity of the project, we do have itemized bidding process.
Okay. I almost think if we're authorizing money, I would feel better authorizing also the change order. Whatever cushion you put in there. If you don't spend it, obviously it goes back. But I'd also like to try and figure out where we're taking the money from, not just to say, oh, we're going to take it from some of these things that work. Can we make that part of the motion if we know where we're going to take the money from these CIP projects that you're saying there's extra that I'm taking 10,000 from this item, or I'm going to take 20,000, whatever is left over. I almost feel like I feel better if it was, we know what we're taking it from instead of just saying, yeah, just find it wherever you want. I'm not saying that's exactly what, but just if we could figure out.
Confused, well, first you want to add a certain percentage
Mhm.
for change orders.
Yeah.
And then you want to list them where they're coming. Let's keep it low and just see where we are and how much we need in there first.
Well, then you're going to come back and do you have to get that authorized by the board then?
Yeah, typically we do that. But
Are you going to come back? All right, you're going to come back.
Gives us something to do, Paul, otherwise.
Okay. I mean, I'm just trying to, to me, I'd just let you, if you knew that up front, whatever percent.
yeah,
Tim said he didn't think there were going to be any change orders.
I said that.
I think Kishan
No,
said that.
oh, it was Kishan.
I said that, but in this
It's not
case,
your fault, Tim.
in this case, we take it from the CIP budget as it is. So it would be difficult. We don't have an exclusive CIP budget right now. It's all a part of the general budget. Okay, the infrastructure is a part of the general budget. And we have a finance policy which allows us to take money from any of those categories in the general budget. You have the administration, you have the treatment, you have the infrastructure, and we can actually take money from here and put it into this, or take it from here and do it into this.
That's a policy we have?
It's a policy.
Okay, I mean, if that's in there, okay. I just,
I've got copy of here. I can bring it up on the screen too if you give.
no, I'm good. Maybe, yeah,
Pass it on.
yeah, that'd be good.
Well, I'm going to add to that though, because
Yeah.
I think where we're going to take it from should be in the staff report. And we should see a matrix saying it's coming out of here and going there. I worked at the state and you had to identify over a certain amount, usually less than 10% was okay. But if it's 10 or more, you had to have a document showing where it's coming from and where it's going. And that should be part of our decision tonight. And I won't vote for this unless we do that. So
But
I'm not.
it's not going to be over 10%.
Well, it's $56,000.
But you said 10%.
Well, I'm talking about what the state does. Right. So I'm not going to vote for this tonight because it's not in the staff report. I want to see that in the future for any time where we're moving money around.
It would be nice to have that on the
Director Marsh.
I just, we started this because I asked Kishan that question today, just so I can bomb him in the meeting and say, okay, I'm getting used to where the money's shifting around. But Kishan mentioned his response. He did actually send me the policy. My question for you, Kishan, was going to be, you mentioned in your response that you and George are working on some changes to the CIP project spreadsheet. This is my favorite spreadsheet now. Because it can be hard to read and hard to track. My suggestion is maybe for the finance committee to take up really Director Ruddock's suggestion and modify that tracking so that we can see we moved money from this project to that project. I know you can also move it from administration or you can move it from treatment. It doesn't have to be within projects and I know that's in the general budget, but because we approve projects and we provide funding for set projects and they can cost more, they can cost less. I know that's dynamic. I would just like to, in the tracking, be able to see where money came from and where it went to. My question was sort of in the cybersecurity, if you take $50,000 from that, do we still have enough left in that budget?
Yeah.
To do the cybersecurity project?
Yeah.
So I just want, I know it gets bitty with the number of projects that we have, but in the last 2 years, I think we only have 3 projects added. But track where money's coming from and where it's going to. We're just trying to follow.
Yeah.
When the agencies pay for a project over time, does that money pay for that project? Because sometimes, like the Princeton Pump Station, 2 years later, we have to almost pay twice as much. So I just want to see where the money's shifting around. But I'm happy to vote for this because it's fairly small tonight, but I really would like the finance committee to take up that tracking so that we can watch more dynamically money going from one project pocket into another project pocket.
I just want to add to that real quickly. So I think why it's more important than ever is because right now our infrastructure budget is really tight and it's taken up mostly by the Montero Force Main. And you guys last meeting gave us a lot of trouble when we thought we could spend $50,000 to do some I&I, but no. We have to have a big budget discussion with that next year when we're defining the budget. So I think it's really important to know where money's moving around. And I want to approve that. I don't want to, just allow that administratively if it's over a certain amount. So I think we need to revisit that policy. I like your idea of going back to the finance committee. But I think, right now with the budget tight, I don't feel comfortable, just playing loosey-goosey on this. Director Boyd.
On the timeline, I see the quote's good for 60 days. Do you have an idea of how long the work may take?
Like 2 weeks.
Probably not 2 weeks.
At least.
Yeah.
The way that we envision the project working would be to, and this might be going a little bit too far in the weeds for you, but we envision cleaning the grit chambers on the front end so that they could do both pumps simultaneously to expedite the project since the pumps are right next to each other. And they only have a certain amount of time that we can't have the grit pumps functional. That's why we need to clean the grit chambers on the front end so that they could just flip everything out and install everything.
So with your,
Hopefully expedite.
yeah, if, let's say they hit the 2 week thing, but is your 2 weeks including their mobilization time, or is that on the front end that you wouldn't really start your 2 week clock until they were mobilized?
I would like to say the the actual time.
Yeah, okay, so
They shut down.
they're gonna need some time to prep and mobilize and get here. The thing I'm getting towards is first rain.
Yes.
And working backwards from that and going, I don't want to burn off the time that it takes to get them prepped and mobilized and get the project done and get the project buttoned up and deal with anything that might go wrong along the way, because we might need, it's a project. So I just want to make sure that we're really mindful of the timing. This time of year is always critical for any kind of water related thing.
It's August.
Well,
It rains.
it's August, which means we're kind of out of time.
Yeah, I think it sounds to me like we have time. So I would recommend that we actually.
So I have one more thing that I would like to suggest, since what's been brought to us is conformed to the policy.
Yeah.
I would like to say, hey, how about we approve it tonight and ask that the policy be revisited with the proposed
I won't
funding.
support that.
Hmm?
I won't support that.
You won't support that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
I want to know what it is I'm approving. I want to know where the money is and where it's going. And I want that to be part of my approval of this.
and
This afternoon or last week, when you got the agenda,
No, I approve the agenda as is, so we can have a discussion. I didn't see the staff report. I approved the agenda.
And we got the staff report earlier.
Yeah, I just want to note, this is conformant to the current policy. And
Except
our policy isn't changing here at this board table tonight because it's not on the agenda. So holding it to a standard that isn't in place yet. I understand the desire and I think I'm supportive of where you want to go with it. But I haven't seen what's been put on the table for what we even require of staff yet. So in a similar vein, I'm not supporting a thing I haven't seen. But here, this is actually the way we've asked staff to conduct business.
Okay, I don't approve it right now under these sort of situations that we have with the infrastructure budget. So I would be voting. Director Dunn.
I just have a question. What is the difference between the ownership account and the flow account?
Ownership account?
It says practically only made within the same revenue source categories of accounts.
It's the
Ownership, flow, or collection. I understand what collections is about. What is the difference between ownership and flow?
In the staff report?
Or
It says in the policy.
Oh, no, policy and all that. We can discuss that in the finance committee meeting and see what we need to change it. I have no idea. This is over 1004 it is. It's
Yeah,
going on.
okay, so this needs to be revised. I realize we can't do it tonight. Then one more comment, which is, I agree with you, I agree with everything, both sides here. This is something I've been pushing for a long time. Is if we're gonna go over budget, we figure out where the money's coming from and spell it out.
Yeah.
Should be in the staff report.
Yes.
These grip pumps are sitting there, ready to be installed. I'm not sure. I get it. You really want to make it happen. I think they're going to make it happen. I'm willing to support this tonight because I think we should get new grip pumps installed if they're here sitting around waiting to be installed. But I understand what you're saying.
With you.
And just, I want to address one of Director Nightingale's comments, which is we had talked about at some point separating out the infrastructure budget to manage separately, and we can't do that until the lawsuit's resolved. But in that case, we could have a contingency fund, which we could think about. We could figure out what a logical amount was. It could be per project, it could be in general, which wouldn't be a bad idea, so that we wouldn't have to do this problem of, oh, it turned out to be more expensive than we thought. Oh, that's not.
What are we going to rob from and what are we
Yeah,
going to
that's not the way to do things. So I think your idea is very good. It's something, but I've been convinced that we can't implement it yet.
I think getting things done in a timely fashion keeps costs down. We've seen the history over the last decades that if we postpone things, the price goes up. I'm thinking
The bid is good for 60 days.
I'm thinking, I don't think we get this done in 60 days and approved and going.
We just have to get under contract.
Would you stop interrupting? Thank you. I think the Princeton pump station tripled in price from what it was originally.
It's going to stay good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't want to see these things slowing down. It costs us money. We've got a 60-day contract. We've got staff ready. We need to get this done to preserve the other parts of the plant that will get more quickly delayed if there is grit in them. And so I'm going to vote for this, although after the meeting's over, I want to find out what the ownership budget is. Because that's I remember it's a 20, 30, 50, and
Nancy will take care of that.
I will.
One more comment, Director.
Just one more. I would make the point that this is something that was budgeted 2 years ago. So unlike the I&I, take your point on the I&I study, but this is something that's budgeted and in progress. So I think it's a little bit different. My other question is, this is the second one in my short time on the board where you've had to go chasing for bids. And the first one was the design on the electrical, where you had to go out to bid several times to find somebody to bid on it. And my question for you is that something that's happening more and more often? Is it happening because we're generally small compared to the other things they do? Is it our location? I appreciate that really getting 3 bids was important so that we could see but I can also appreciate if we always go for 3 bids, then 2 of the 3 know they're not going to get the business. So how much effort are they going to put into it? It's tough. But why do you think it's so hard for us to get people to respond to our bids? Is it getting worse?
The reason the contractors are given was that they're busy with a lot of other major projects. And there's too small a job for them to develop their workforce and time. That was the indication given by more than one contractor.
Yeah.
So
And one didn't put in a bid because their person who does it was on holiday. That just said it's not that important to them.
We have been based having the same experience.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are going for broke right now, anticipating tariffs increasing prices even more. So I think the demand is.
Their
coming.
project's done.
Yeah, that's what's going.
Yeah. So,
yeah, so
When's the next board meeting?
25th.
August. So this bid is good. It was July 2nd. So the bid is good until September 2nd. So we could award it next board meeting if we wanted to see where the money is coming from.
yeah, before we take any decision, I'd like to say that the general budget has got administration, treatment, environmental compliance, and infrastructure. Infrastructure has always been a part of the general budget. If you guys decide to remove the infrastructure out of the general budget, which I know we can't do it because of the trial and all those things, then we'll be able to do things which will focus only on infrastructure budget. As long as the infrastructure budget is within the general budget, it becomes difficult for me to clearly say on the status report, I might be able to show you saying that I'm moving this to this, but I cannot make changes in the budget because it's a part of the general
Yeah.
budget.
I was thinking just on that spreadsheet.
It's, yeah, so it's a status report. It's just an internal document meant to give information about status of each and every project. So what happens? I will say budgeted amount 100,000. I might do that. Lessen it by 25,000 will become 75,000. But it's not going to show up in the infrastructure budget for that particular year.
you know, what project that the money's coming from, what projects are getting, less funding as a result. I want some analysis around this.
Yeah, that I've already mentioned.
Yeah.
Saying the Hatch project at Portola has got 38,119 remaining.
Remaining,
There's remaining.
It's
The
completed.
cyber security
It's completed.
coming
The
in.
hatch project is completed.
Hatch is ready. We should be installing it with some minor repairs, but we have the equipment. Then we have cyber security measures. A large part of it has already been implemented. We have 180,300 remaining. There is nothing which is, emergency or required to be done with cyber security.
Yeah, and then on that one, the estimated completion cost is 75,000 out of that 180. So you have more than 100
Correct.
available there. So that's exactly the type of information I was looking for
Would you
today.
be comfortable just asserting that's the one line item the money would be coming from?
Yeah, I'll be comfortable to say, if you don't want to do it from the Hatch project, we can do it from cyber security. I'm just saying flexibility is there. Plus, there are so many other projects to be completed, so they have the money there.
So, I mean, what I'm hearing is you want to know exactly where the money's coming from.
Mhm.
You've identified 2 sources, but one of them it has ample to cover this whole need.
Correct.
So if you say that's where the money's coming from and we record that into the motion, then for this one, we actually have it nailed down.
If that's where it's coming from. Yeah, I mean, you said there was,
Cyber security measures.
because the other one had 38 left, so that you'd only need 18. But you just said, we'll just go ahead and take it all from the side.
Yes.
If that should be part of our motion.
And I'd like the motion to also be that the finance committee will review the policy
And tracking.
transfers,
Yeah.
the tracking.
Yeah.
Can I propose a motion?
Do we have to see if anybody has?
Oh,
any?
sorry.
Well, you can still propose your motion and before we,
So we authorize the general manager to enter into the contract with GSE Construction for installation of grid pumps in the amount not to exceed 119,500. The shortfall in remaining budget for this project will be transferred from the cybersecurity project, which is project code 6.01 on the
22TP02.
22TP02. And the Finance Committee will take up at its earliest convenience a review of the inter-account transfer policy and guidelines and tracking for moves between projects.
Okay. Let's ask the public. Is there anyone online who would like to address this item? Seeing none, we have a motion on the table. Can we have a second?
Second,
Could I have a roll call, please?
Director Nagangas,
Yes.
Director Marsh,
Yes.
Director White,
Yes.
Director Dye,
aye.
Director State
Aye.
Chair Ralph.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Good discussion.
Thank you. Yeah, that was good.
If the general manager's report will be with us at the next meeting. Do we have an attorney's report?
Just very briefly, can everyone hear me okay?
Turn the
Wait.
volume up there.
Okay, you know what?
Go ahead, Jeremy. No, we had to turn our volume up.
Yeah.
Are you folks able to hear me?
Now,
How about now?
What if we turn up the laptop?
So just speak very loudly, Jeremy. No, no,
No.
Not loud enough.
speak loudly.
Good now.
he's getting it.
Okay, yeah, my apologies for that. I'll keep it very short. There's just one case that came out last week, Pat's versus City of San Diego. It deals with tiered water rates, and it's caused quite a bit of stir among. It primarily pertains to water agencies because tiered rates, you don't typically have that in the wastewater context. But the result of this Court of Appeals decision, which is similar to the Coziar case, which came out about 6 months ago, is that it's going to make it very, very difficult to defend tiered rates. And Aqua and CASA are both really kind of putting their heads together as to what are the ways that potentially this case can be narrowed. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. That did come out very recently. One other thing just of note is that there is legislation dealing with PFAS that potentially would provide legislative protection for water and wastewater agencies from potential litigation associated with PFAS. That appears to be moving, or at least moving more than it has been in recent legislative sessions. So I wanted to bring that to your attention as well.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Item 7, director's reports. Anybody? Item 8, topics for future board consideration. Anybody online like to direct comments on the attorney's report or topics for future board consideration? Seeing none, do we have any closed session items under item 9?
Kishan, do we need a closed session?
No, you don't need.
Okay, I don't need one for my purposes. So if you don't, then sounds like we don't need a closed session.
This meeting is adjourned.